Hello there guys, what is going on? SonOfChelsea back here again for another video. And last summer I had a lot of conversations with this great guest over the transfer window. We're going to be doing similar this year, hopefully on his channel as well. Hopefully it's going to be another big summer for Chelsea in the transfer window with some big targets. That's not the only thing we're going to be speaking about today, because I haven't had this guest on the channel for months. And of course, a lot has happened in Chelsea history in recent months. This is a great guy. I love having him on the channel. We always have great discussions. I enjoy watching his content. I'm sure all of you know who he is. NiiNii, welcome back to the channel, mate. How you doing?
Thanks, man, and obviously humbled by that introduction. Obviously gassed me up, really gassed me up a lot there. But yeah, man, obviously it's been a long time since we've collabed, hoping that we do a lot more of them during the summer, and glad to be back.
No worries, man. I mean, just simple question, European Cup.
Wow. I felt confident because I'd seen us beat Man City twice. And on two occasions, I felt like Pep didn't really have too much of a plan. So for me, one thing I knew was that we can hold Man City out. They're not like this super dangerous attacking team where you're literally praying for your life that you're going to get through the next 5 minutes. Man City, they're a team where they use their high line. They leave that space in behind. We have the players that can maximize that. And I guess my only fear was, if we don't take our chances, essentially, that was the only thing I was worrying about. But yeah, I did feel confident beforehand. I think people that watched my videos too and the previews felt that confidence I had as well. And I wasn't disappointed because for me, not only was it our ability to penetrate Pep, but for me it was also the fact that we're a younger team that has more intensity. I think we can outrun Man City, and I think all the qualities we've demonstrated just literally came to shine tonight. So on the night. So yeah, it was an incredible win. And I think one thing I just do not agree with whatsoever is this whole notion that Pep Guardiola kind of messed up Man City's plans by not using a DM in that system. For me, not enough respect was paid to Tuchel, because Pep only made that decision because he knew what manager he was coming up against. He knows how strong we are structurally as a team, how we play, and obviously, how Tuchel gets the team working. So it was no surprise to me why Pep had to find a different solution to try and play through us. Of course, it didn't work out for him in the end because we're a great team with great players ourselves. And, for me, the better team won. And I just love that we stopped Man City from, doing the quadruple. Beating them in the Champions League and in the FA Cup, and of course we stopped them winning the league title at home that season in the Premier League. So it feels like, I guess I was just disappointed that there wasn't enough respect given our way. After the game, it was all about Man City and how they lost the final, which was just not the right way to look at things at all. This was a game between two very even teams, a lot more even than people expected, and the better team won again in the end.
I think the DM argument, I mean, it was something I remember on the night when the team came out being like, I can't say that it wasn't, a big part of my thinking about the game, but I kind of had both sides of it. Like, absolutely, I think it's not a case that Pep just overthought and that had nothing to do with Tuchel. I think Tuchel's work in the previous two games led to Pep overthinking, if you want to phrase it like that. The argument you could make is that Chelsea not only beat Man City with three different teams, but also beat them twice with a DM. Beat them twice with Fernandinho and Rodri, and of course, neither of them, of course, were involved. Neither of them were involved in the Champions League final. So for Tuchel to do that to Pep, I think it is a very big thing. But we know finals are down to fine margins, and I think that it's simplistic to lay all the blame on that and say if Pep played his best team, then everything would have gone well, because we know how good of a tactician Tuchel is, and it really was sort of the pinnacle of Tuchel's coaching career in the sense that, he was able to do that over a couple of games against, in my opinion, the best coach currently in world football. I think that's something that hopefully Tuchel can build on next season. We're a few weeks removed from the glorious night. Has it sunk in yet?
It finally has, of course. I remember the first time we won the Champions League, and I was actually at the game in the stadium. I went to Munich, spent like a few days there, and it didn't hit me that we had won the Champions League until maybe a month afterwards, to be honest. But I felt with the second one, it definitely hit me a lot sooner. And Yeah, I was just literally one of the proudest moments for me as a fan ever to see players in Mount and the academy guys that I've been watching for years and just like constantly singing their praise and really just one of the reasons why I created the YouTube channel essentially was to get out my opinions on the academy and the importance behind it as well, and to feel vindicated not only by being right in the end, but also you know just the pride of watching guys from 8 years old who've been at the club forever since they were kids, who've been working their whole lives to get to that moment, achieve their dream as well. And not only was it just a win for the academy, it was a win for all the other players as well in the team, for the new signings, for some of the guys that maybe cast away, and maybe we all kind of writ off I guess contextual reasons, I'll say contextual reasons, and it was just a massive win for everyone. So literally one of the best games of the season. I thought it was a very entertaining final. I don't know what people were talking about, to be honest, but yeah, man, 2 stars on the crest, and I think, to be honest, the crest, it looks a bit incomplete. I feel like we need 3 just to give it that full completeness. So I think with this manager, with the team, and the future as well, I feel like the third one's going to come a lot sooner than the second one and then the first one. So very exciting times, man.
Hopefully, and I think a big talking point for me, after sort of savouring the week after and even beyond that, of looking back at the highlights, looking at all the celebrations, and really, as you say, having it, sink in that we are European champions again. I think a lot of people started to look at this achievement and say, can the club build on it? Can we now sustain the success? And I guess that very nicely leads into next season. On the day we're recording this, the fixtures have been released for the Premier League season, which is always one of my favourite days on the calendar. I think even more this time because we're very hopeful that fans will be back inside the Bridge next season, inside every stadium next year inside the Premier League. So just your feelings on the fixtures, because I try not to go too overboard on them because so much can change until we get to that opening day fixture. But of course, I know you covered it on the channel. I did as well. So it's just sort of your analysis on the fixture list as it is.
For me, this is a very exciting one. I just don't go in with the belief that I should be nervous or fearful. I think we've seen our record against the big teams, and even irrespective of that, if the whole goal next season is to win the Premier League, that seems to be the main thing everyone wants now. This is the perfect month for us to get an idea of whether that's going to be a reality or not. It's like the perfect mix of difficulty. We've got some games where, we struggle against teams that like to maybe sit back a bit. We've got a little bit of that in there. We've got our London derbies. So, of course, fiercely contested battles as well. And, of course, big games against Liverpool and Man City very, very early on. So, if we come out on top, if we come out with at least maybe 14 or 18 points, then for me, that tells us all that this season we are in it to win this title.
Looking at those opening fixtures, of course, we've got Crystal Palace on the opening day, which is not the worst one to have after the Super Cup, which takes place a few days before that in Belfast against Villarreal, which hopefully Chelsea can win more European silverware. As you already mentioned, you've got the likes of Liverpool, got the likes of Arsenal, Tottenham, Man City. I guess once again, tactically, when we look at Tuchel, I'm a bit like you. My concern with this team, I would actually have been more concerned if we had a run of low block teams in the first few weeks. And I guess that's the part for me that I'm looking at this season. And that's the big question mark I have over this team over 38 games. Because I think that's where the title is going to be won and lost for me. I feel confidence in Thomas Tuchel now tactically in these big games that he can get it absolutely spot on, whether it's against Guardiola, whether it's against Klopp. I have confidence that he can get at least a point in most games, set us up rigidly to get a clean sheet. I know maybe this will lead on to our conversation about recruitment later, but what is it you're sort of looking for as sort of the big question mark over this squad this season in the Premier League?
I mean, I'd be more than happy with just one signing, and that would be up front, to be honest. If we're looking to sign multiple players and then, for some, hopefully this doesn't happen, but come the end of the summer window, we find out we can't get Haaland because of, 20 million difference or something, but we signed 2 other players, like a right wing back and, defence. I'd feel a little bit annoyed because I'd think, okay, maybe getting the striker actually is the most important thing, because we do have the quality and depth already to help us, at least be able to, keep the quality high throughout the season. But it's the striker position that takes it to the next level, for creating chances for him, because we've seen the stats, be great. I think we're top 3 in the country all the time for most creative stats, chance creation, etc., etc. That tells you one thing, that the rest of the team is kind of okay. We just need the icing on the cake now to really take things to that next level. So, I'm hoping that Haaland's the guy that comes through and gets signed. In the market right now, not too many options. And for me, he's the only one. So we have to break the bank to sign him. When I'm seeing Atletico signing João Felix 125, or Paris Saint-Germain signing Mbappe for 200 million, I feel like Haaland is literally in between them. So I feel like, now's the time to really demonstrate that ambition now.